again. Friday night. It's Friday. Friday. Everybody's rushing. Um, Gotta get down on Friday. Get down on Twitch. So, first things first, you know the drill. We have got to roll the ads, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay? Okay. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How's everybody doing? I was gonna start earlier, but I was a little distracted. Um, I started Wednesday, season 2, because I don't really watch Netflix. Why are you pouting? I don't really watch Netflix. I watch Tubi. I was into Hulu for like a decade. Finally realized, like, shit, there's plenty of good movies on Tubi. Why even pay for Hulu anymore? So I canceled Hulu. Do you want to come here? I mostly just watch Tubi, but I'm using the Netflix is on the living room TV. So I was like, cool, I can watch Wednesday because I'll be honest, I liked season 1. I thought it was really good. I think it's super cute and camp and creepy and has the same spirit as every rendition of the Addams Family. I think they did a great job casting. I think some of the side characters aren't like top quality actors. Like, I don't know, some of the other random students or people, it almost takes it from camp to corny. But I think that the family itself is casted like really, really well. I think Catherine Zeta-Jones was born to play. Oh, it might be your phone. I'm using the same built-in microphone that I use all the time, and somebody told me it sounded good, so I think it might be your phone. Yeah, but I think Catherine Zeta-Jones was like born to play Morticia Addams. She's so good, and Gomez Luis, somebody can't remember his name, and Jenna Ortega as Wednesday, and whoever plays Pugsley. I think they were all cast really well, so it's very enjoyable. And I loved the Addams Family growing up, so it's a fun watch. Cool, thank you. Come here. You want to come say hi? You want to come say hi? Say hi. This is Pie Pie. My little baby Pie Pie. Dog sitting. Number 1 dog sitter over here. This is little Pie Pie. It's your big moment. Your 15 minutes of fame. It's a baby. He's just a baby. Yeah, is he just a baby? Who's a baby? Who's just a baby? I'm not sitting on him. Aww. Hi Pie says, hi Blossom. Hello. So yeah, I came home from work and I talked to my little niece for a little bit. I could grab some food and I thought, what better time to watch something than when you're eating? And I ended up watching 2 episodes of Wednesday, and now I have 13 minutes left of the 3rd episode. So I like it. Like I said, I think it's a good show. I got no shame in that. I can't even really tell what age group it's made for. I guess like young adult, teen, kind of. Because it's definitely not a kid's show. People dying, and it's kind of gruesome. I wouldn't say it's gory, but it's definitely gruesome. So I think it's fun, and I like it a lot. And this is just a good couch buddy. He's such a good boy. He's been keeping me company watching Wednesday with me. Yeah. He is a baby. He is a baby. He is his baby. It's also interesting about Wednesday. Not interesting, but this is really cool. So they had this character. There was a character Xavier in Wednesday, and after the show came out, there was um, a lot of people came forward and said, fuck that guy. He went to my high school, college, whatever. He was, like a date rapist and a bully and was in, I think he was like into hazing and stuff. And now he's not on the show. They didn't kill him off, they just sent him away. They were like, oh, he's not here anymore. And they address it in the show that he's gone. And I think it's really cool that they know their audience well enough where it's like, I'm guessing a lot of teen girls and people who generally just care to not have him back on set, to not have him on the show. They were like, yo, like, people are mad about this. And it seems like such a simple conclusion to not have him on the show, but so many serial abusers and rapists and assaulters, like, still have full-blown careers, even after they get called out. Look at Chris Brown selling out stadiums. Like, the fuck? I thought it was really amazing and surprising that they kicked this dude off the show. They did something, Like, I just feel like it's so rare for people, especially in Hollywood, to be held accountable like that and for him to, like, lose his job. Granted, he could have resigned. I don't know. Like, I didn't see anything about it. But nobody talks about it, and they've moved on, and he's gone. So I think it's cool that they didn't just kill him off or have him for one scene. He just simply goes to a different school now. Okay. And they, like, reference his character at one point. I don't want to spoil it or anything. They referenced him, but he's not in the show. So I thought, like, good on them. That's pretty incredible. So it's a show worth supporting, in my opinion, for that reason. Speaking of Netflix shows and supporting them, I'm a little torn on Stranger Things because I didn't like it. I watched all 4 seasons and I didn't like it. I thought season 3 was really good with the Russians and everything. Okay. Bye. Season 3 was really good. Fascinating show. I think they did a great job. I think it was really fun. But I thought season 1 was like, okay, I guess they're building up to something. And season 2, it was like, okay, I guess I'm not really digging what they built. Season 3 was like really good. Season 4, I thought kind of sucked. So, I'm not into Stranger Things. And from what I heard when the show first came out, some guy basically pitched this idea to the Duffer Brothers, and they said, no, we're not interested. We don't want to do it. Just for them to turn around and literally steal the show. And I personally think that's why it's, like, kind of poorly written as the show goes on, where they, like, didn't have an ending. They didn't know where it was going. They didn't know what they were doing because they totally ripped off somebody else's script. So it was already off on a bad start. I'm not really sure what inspired me to watch it in the first place. Because, again, I didn't like it. I watched it every time it came out, and I was like, fuck, this is not that good. And the thing is, season 1, it's really endearing to see these up-and-coming, like, child actors doing their thing and being amazing. Season 2, it's like, okay, they're getting a little older, but still cute. Season 3, you start to realize, like, they're not so much kids anymore, especially season 4. They're not really kids anymore, and now they're not really that good actors. Like, it was good acting for a child, but your acting hasn't improved, like, at all as you're getting older, and they're relying on, like, being lovable children. Like, I thought a lot of the acting was pretty subpar. And I guess you can't really say anything about Millie Bobby Brown because she has a very successful career, and it seems like she's not even really that much into acting anymore. And she, like, I guess had a baby. I don't know. Somebody referenced her having a baby. And um, I didn't really look into it, but sir, I gotta figure out what he has. Anyway, I don't think it's that good of a show. I never thought it was that good of a show. But then, amidst filming or whenever the fuck it happened, I think it was like after season 4 came out, Will, Noah Schnapp, was like posting pictures with stickers that said Zionism is sexy and like was insulting people in the comments for disagreeing with him. And I get it, he's a child. He was probably like 17 at the time this happened. And we can all be susceptible to brainwashing when we're young, at any age really. And he could have been paid to do it, and he could be ignorant to the situation, even though it's been ongoing. Like, I didn't really know anything about the situation until it was far too late. I think that goes for a lot of us. Exactly. Exactly. He's in Hollywood. I don't know if he's Jewish, but it was just distasteful. People were really mad. And then one of the actors from season 3, he's like not even a main character. He's like a side character. I can't remember if he's in season 4. He defended him and was like, hell yeah, Zionism is sexy. He's like a full-grown adult. So it's like, oh, you actually might just be a bad person. So I don't know if he's like in the series, the older guy, but you know, Will still has his job. So people are like boycotting Stranger Things over it. And for me, I never really believed in like, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily boycott content because of one person, especially when you're talking like hundreds of people working on a show or a movie. Because I think of Community. Community is a great show. Dan Snyder, or not Dan Snyder, oh my god, Dan Harmon is a pretty terrible person. He's done some really weird stuff. There's even certain awkward things in the show. I think that a lot, I know this sounds totally crazy, but a lot of the misogyny in the show is funny. Like, I'll be the one to say it. Like, a lot of it is funny. Some of it is a little much, but it's generally pretty funny, and they are mocking these people for being this way. But yeah, Dan Snyder, or God, I keep calling him that because same fucking guy, right? Dan Harmon, before Community, he like made a video with a baby doll, and it is extremely inappropriate and uncomfortable. In Community, this is what's weird. In Community, they have this bit with Subway. It's like a big joke, ongoing joke, episode after episode, like it's the Subway thing. And then at one point, if I'm remembering correctly, Jared is in an episode of Community. Okay, so this was before he went to prison, obviously. It was before anybody knew who the fuck Jared was or what he was about. Like, obviously they knew him as a Subway guy, but I'm saying like they didn't know about those things that he was doing, the stuff that he had. But if Dan Harmon is making PDF videos as a joke and is friends with a PDF, those dots aren't connecting very far apart. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that sucks, but those actors and that crew and everybody that made that show happen, the editors, producers, like, videographers, everyone made that show happen. Is it worth canceling over one person? Because then you're discrediting the work of literally hundreds, if not thousands of people. Like, that's to me not fair, you know? And I don't know how much money they really make off streaming, any of them, you know? It's kind of like when you stream music, they're making pennies on the dollar, if that. So, yeah, yeah, he is. Are you never gonna watch that '70s show ever again? That's what I mean. Well, I don't know. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are weird as fuck too, and he wrote letters defending him, whereas Topher Grace refused to do a reunion with him. So I think that says a lot about who they are. So like, yeah, I don't want to cancel the things that Topher Grace did because of what um, Danny Masterson did, right? And it's the same thing with Community. I don't want to cancel what Donald Glover and Jillian Jacobs and Allison Brie, whatever, you know, all of them did because Dan Harmon got caught being a fucking weirdo, right? And who's to say that they're not guilty? But I mean, I've never heard really any allegations about any of them. So why? You know, it just doesn't seem fair. But again, how much money are they really making off streaming anyways? Any of them? Yeah, do it. Do it. It's weird as fuck. It's weird as fuck. You made it! Amazing timing! I just started. We're talking about TV canceling when it comes to television because everybody wants to cancel Stranger Things because of one person. And here's my thing though, I'm comparing it to like Community and that '70s show, but I don't think Stranger Things is good. I want to watch the new season because it's over and I might as well know how it ends. And I fucking watched the 4 seasons before it. Want to watch the last season just to. Yeah, they do. They do. Which I get. Fuck Zionism, fuck that stupid bitch, but that's what we were just talking about. Is it's literally a fucking teenager being edgy and probably indoctrinated and brainwashed and I don't know. Um and I know like people are kind of like upset with Dave Harper, whatever his name is, because of his time with Lily Allen, but other people are kind of defending him, being like, yo, Lily Allen is a crazy bitch. Who's Megan? Oh. Yeah, Dan Harmon made Rick and Morty with Justin Roiland. And Justin Roiland got fired for basically the same thing. I don't remember what he did, but he's not on the show anymore. Which show? Stranger Things? See, I only liked season 3. I didn't like 1 or 4. Thought they were dumb as fuck. Okay, let us know, please. Not to keep you up, but pretty interesting conversation. If I do say so myself. So yeah. Oh, don't tell me you have to go out now. I think it'll be okay. What's up, baby? What's up, baby? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Fair. I wouldn't be able to handle that shit. No need for that. What are you doing? Wanna come back up here? You wanna come back up here? Can you go around? Can you go around? Go that way. Go. Okay. Do what you will. That's interesting. Who even is Megan Gans? You said it's someone who worked on Rick and Morty? I wonder if it's Summer. Oh, she's a writer. Interesting. She's from Ann Arbor, Michigan. She went to U of M. What did he do? She used to write for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, too. Yeah. So apparently she's a big writer. His name was. So. I mean, literally anyone is welcome to edit a wiki page. Oh my god. Do you have to go outside? You gotta go outside. Yeah, literally anyone can edit a Wikipedia page. You're just supposed to cite your sources. And if you don't have sources, it will literally say citation needed. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the dog out. So we'll take a 3-minute break, even though we took one 25 minutes ago. He hasn't whined at all night, and he's seen it by the door. So, gotta take the dog. I will be back. I love you guys. Thank you for being patient with us. All right, y'all. He pee-peed. He did not poo-poo. We're good. Is it good? I gave him a widow tweet. I gave him some fresh water in a widow tweet. That's what I was saying to him over and over again. Fresh water in a widow tweet. So freaking precious. You wanna come sit with us? Yes, a good boy. Just a baby. Just baby pie pie. Just baby pie pie. Mwah. 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 What? You chilling? You big chilling dog? Big chilly Willy? Or Shelly? My Billy? Pie pie. This little pie pie. He obviously has some really important things to discuss with you. Yes. Oh, he wants to go lay down. He would like to lay down. You want your blankie? You want your blankie? Here's your blankie. Because you're just a little baby. Yeah. He's so damn cute. He's so cute. He's such a little cutie. But he will fuck you up. Don't get it twisted. He'll fuck you up. This boy is strong. And that bite, he'll fuck you up. Anyways. Thank you, Blossom. She's so sweet. I know she really earns those dollars. Hopefully she'll see some other dogs too. What are you doing? There's a good boy. Okay. She's real comfy spot next to Auntie Nana. Yeah, baby. So, anyways, enough dog talk. How are you? How's everybody doing tonight? So, resuming where we left off, I don't know how I feel about canceling a TV show over one person. Does not seem fair to the hundreds and thousands of people who work on the show. They put all their hard work into this shit, and for what? Nothing, because one person sucks. Especially, like, when it's the creator of the show, it's like maybe a little more questionable, right? Because it's like, you worked for him, you got hired by him, he paid you. But when it's an employee on the show, it's like very questionable, right? For real. For real. For real. Because everybody's like, oh, they're all terrible people, they're all guilty, blah, blah, blah. But I truly feel differently. Like, I do feel like there's still good people who are doing a job and who aren't completely sucked in by what's happening in the world and everything like that. Or what's happening in Hollywood, I should say. I just choose to believe that they're not all completely rotten bad people. It just seems statistically impossible for that to be true, you know? And there's like such varying levels of fame that it seems like some lesser known or less popular actors would be less likely to do the deviant stuff that millionaire and billionaire people do, right? Like, you make $100,000 a year, you're not like blowing money on kids. You know what I mean? Like, I just have a hard time believing that they're all rotten and they're all evil. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's wishful thinking or hopefulness, but again, it seems statistically impossible for that to be the case. You know? Like, it just doesn't even make sense. But who knows? Who really knows? And as Nick Cave said, and who actually cares? I wonder if that's what that song was about. Dig yourself, Lazarus, dig yourself, Lazarus, dig yourself, Lazarus, dig yourself. Sometimes you gotta just say it's done. I don't think I ever worked on a song for more than 2 hours. And I'll just be like, it's good enough. And it never is. Truly is never good enough. I make terrible music. But it's fun. The process. You have to have fun. If the process isn't fun anymore, you've lost the plot, as the kids would say. But again, maybe that's how it's supposed to sound. Like lo-fi. Distorted. That's in. That's cool. You know, maybe it's just about having a different perspective. Right? Maybe. I don't know. Larry made his nest in the autumn branches, filled with nothing but high hopes and thin air. And then, I don't remember all the words, but I can't remember. I think Nick Cave was canceled too. Whatever. Streaming platforms are evil anyway. Put it on Bandcamp. I don't know what it is, but there has got to be something going on upstairs. You good, baby? You're so cute. But I don't really want to sit like this. I feel bad. I want to sit like this. I want to look into your souls. I want to see you. Just kidding. I have friends that still use Bandcamp. Polyvinyl Chloride. She puts everything on Bandcamp. Pretty cool. I had a website for my music. I never put it anywhere else. And then I was using Wix, and I paid for it too. I paid money every year, and it wasn't even that expensive considering like the functions of my website. But it's an Israeli company, so I was like, fuck that. And it was so funny because a friend of mine was wanting to book a reading. I should have done that tonight, but whatever. I have another reading I have to do as well. I keep forgetting about it. Easy to do. I ate this whole pack of blueberries in the last like 2 hours. Is that bad? I'm gonna be shitting purple. It's not. I mean, that's a pretty big pack of blueberries to just devour. That's crazy. Yeah. Pissing blue, shitting purple. Yeah. That should be the title of your next EP. And then the cover is just a bunch of blueberries. Blueberries are the goat, by the way, of berries. The gobe, greatest of all berries. Because I bought these berries on November 20th, and I was like, fuck, I forgot about my blueberries. And I went in the fridge, and they were still perfectly intact. They're still kind of sour, so they weren't even like getting old, which is maybe concerning. But when you buy raspberries, you have 1 day. You have 1 day before they start to mold. I don't even know how they keep them in the store. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, right? So cute. I really don't even know how they sell raspberries because they go so moldy so fast. And blackberries, you have a little more time than blueberries or than raspberries, but not that much. And strawberries, you definitely have more time than blackberries, which is more time than raspberries, but it's still only a few days before they start to go. These blueberries were in my fridge for a week and a day, technically, and they were totally fine. Totally fine. No mold, no mushiness. They weren't overly sweet, which would indicate them being too ripe. Like, blueberries are the gold. True. I know. That's so true. But it doesn't work for the other berries. No, I mean. Product of Peru. Crazy. I was literally just thinking, like, oh god, I think I have to plug my laptop in a second. Sorry, y'all. I feel so bad. I don't want to move the dog. He is comfy, cozy up on me, dude. And it is adorable. I don't want to bump him. I don't want to. You sweeping? You're not sweeping. At least you're not sweeping. You sweet, sweet boy. My sweet, sweet, sweet boy. Sweet, 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 sweet boy. Sweet, 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 sweet boy. Okay. I don't want him to fall asleep before I do this. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Cool. Done. Comfy? Cozy? You comfy, cozy? So, a few things that I was thinking about just now. I know sometimes we censor ourselves and we get concerned about what we can say and what would get us banned and what we can get away with and oh we don't want to get in trouble, blah blah blah. But I think about like there are some really bold, really brave content creators out there. Like to such an extreme degree. They literally are putting their lives on the line. And it sounds dramatic to say that, but when you literally look at Casa and how they have eliminated like essentially every single journalist working there, entire teams of people, you know, there is no reason they couldn't pull it off here and start doing that. So I honestly commend them, and I think it's extremely brave, the content that people put out. Totally crazy, totally crazy. And they're doing the right thing, but there's this one guy, I don't know his name. He makes the best videos that I've ever seen on the internet. I swear to God, they are so good. And fuck, man, I couldn't even explain. Like, just absolutely crazy. Let me see. I don't know how I would even search him. Search. I think it starts with a J. Maybe not. Yeah, it is. Okay. James Rewald. JREHWALD 15 backup. Awesome. I want to type it in the comments, but I get scared of like what I can say. He makes absolute artistry on TikTok and Instagram, like an absolute fucking legend. This guy. Simply incredible what he does. Um, and I think we need to like realize that these people are risking their lives, not just their livelihood, but their lives. Like people are getting kidnapped off the streets, sent away to foreign prisons and held in detention centers. Like we've got to stop fooling ourselves and thinking like, oh, it's not a big deal. You're a social justice warrior and you're hiding behind a keyboard. Like, no, they're putting their whole face into it. Like, it's just, I don't know. I really commend what they do. And that's why I try not to shy away from the tough conversations and making my own content be about it. But then after, like in the moment, it's like, no, it's the right thing to do. And we have to have these conversations and we have to talk about these things. But then afterwards, I'm like, oh my God, did I say too much? Should I be afraid? And it's honestly crazy. It's honestly crazy. But that is the reality of the world that we live in. They have facial recognition technology in fucking street cameras. Like, like if they want to, they will. We all have photo IDs. Like, if they want to, they will. And so I think that this era of like social justice warrior and keyboard warrior needs to fucking die because it's the world that we live in. And it is like what's going on. And my bestie just texted me, said I'm watching Stranger Things. That's hilarious. I'm streaming and we just discussed it. LMAO. Can't remember if I told her I was watching Wednesday. Um, yeah, so it's again, it's the world we live in. If they wanted to, they would. And if they're going to, they will, you know? So it's not really fair for people to judge people for only speaking up on the internet. It's a bigger platform than being in real life. I think that protests are like, and even riots are more intimidating because it's a group of people. But what you say on the internet has such a bigger reach and a wider audience than like if you you know are saying it to a group of people in person. So I just think like mocking them has to go out of style in 2026. Has to. Absolutely has to go out of style in 2026. Also, um, since we're kind of on this topic, I want to share this book, which I have brought up before, but I wasn't very far into it when I had brought it up. This book is insane. Insane. True story. It's kind of narrated by Sammy Hermes. Absolutely, it's not. I agree with you 100%. Um, narrated by Sammy Hermes, and there's passages, first person passages from Shireen Sawala about she's Palestinian. And the book starts off with her mom taking her 3 children and walking, or she's in Jordan. And her mom wakes up one night and says, fuck this, I'm going back to Palestine. And she walks back through the river, through the night. People going by her saying, "You're going the wrong way. What are you doing? What are you doing?" And she was very determined. And she took a baby and a 3-year-old and probably like a 1-year-old, and she carried them, walked with them, and took them back to her home in Palestine. I always say Palestine because of the English language, but Palestine. And just goes from there. And I don't really want to spoil it at all, but it's probably one of the saddest books I have ever read. And you would think that, like, you'll be reading this book and you think you hate them before you read this. And when you read it, you realize you don't hate them enough. Like, it's insane. I have 30 pages left. And then, like, the references, the acknowledgments, the references, etc., etc. But I have 30 pages of the actual story left. Yeah. It's so fucking sad. I want to tell you all about it, but I don't want, again, I wouldn't want to spoil it for anyone, even though, whatever. Yeah. Oh, return. Maybe I have more than 30 pages. No, I think I have 30 pages. Yeah. About 30. And then acknowledgements and references. There is 20 more pages of just references. Yeah, I go really back and forth with books. I was an avid reader when I was young. I was reading like way above my reading level. I was reading chapter books when kids my age weren't at that point yet. And I remember there was one time my sister got assigned a book when she must have been in 7th grade, because I vividly remember this being in 3rd grade. They had to read something among the stars. It's not A Fault in Our Stars. That's like a modern book. I'm old. Something about the stars, and it was like a Holocaust book. I'm gonna try to find it. Number the Stars? I think it's Number the Stars. It's Lois Lowry. I've heard of them before. I thought they wrote different, not that kind of content. Oh, no, she does write a lot of historical books. She wrote The Giver. So my sister, when she was like in 7th grade, oh yeah, but she also writes like little kid books too. That's crazy. What range? That's so inspiring. But yeah, my sister got assigned this book when she was in like 7th grade, and I wanted to read it. And I was like, all right, and I'm in 3rd grade reading this book about Holocaust survivors. I really don't remember the book that much. I just remember reading it. It says The Escape of a Family of Jews from Copenhagen, Denmark during World War II. So it must have been like, it takes place in 1943. Crazy. Yeah, so I read that. when I was in like third grade. Seventh grader's book. So I was always really into reading. That was my point, and also that it was a good book from what I remember. But I was a child when I read it. But so I was always really into reading. To read a Holocaust book is crazy, and it is like a chapter book. It's not like that big, but yeah. So, um, it was like very intense. Like I said, I don't really remember anything that happened in it, but I do remember the feeling when I read it. Um, I read a lot in high school. I read like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I read all of Nick Cave's books. I can actually only think of two, but I think there's a third one that I read as well. And The Ass Saw the Angel, that was like one of the best books I ever read. And The Death of Bunny Monroe, didn't like it as much. I was like obsessed with Dandy in the Underworld, which is a Sebastian Horsley memoir. Why? I don't know. I was like so into like rock and roll and drugs and being crazy, just being crazy, that I loved it. Books. Oh, he has a ton of books. I do feel like I read. Maybe I didn't read another one of his books. I think maybe those were the only two books. Those are like his only two novels, I think. But I really liked them a lot. Didn't like The Death of Bunny Monroe as much. Um, Maybe I don't remember it as well. I'd have to, I don't know, something. Yes, definitely read Go Ask Alice. I wasn't super into it, but I think it was really, really like important. I didn't read that book till high school. I wouldn't have understood it as a child. I went to Catholic school, so that would have been way over my head. Never read a boy called It, but I feel like we've talked about that book recently. Um, but yeah, I definitely was a pretty avid reader in high school. Even though I was way more into music. I've always been really into music though, but I was like really like deep dive into music in high school. And I remember some stuff had happened with my family, and everything was very depressing. And I was not okay. None of us were okay. We were super traumatized. And I had been reading this book called Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. So I was like 19 at the time. And I had started the book before this insane thing happened that traumatized us all to this day. And a couple months, maybe a month or two after, I finished the book. I was like halfway through. Oh, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. And again, I can't really remember anything that happens in the book, but it's very beautiful. It is like very, very beautiful book. It's Jonathan Safran Foer. So I had read his documentary book, Eating Animals, because I was a vegetarian. Um, and I saw the movie Everything is Illuminated, which is based on one of his novels that I never read, but I just bought from the bookstore for $6, brand new. I was like, oh shit, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I really want to read it. It's a really good book. It's a really good movie. I don't know. I think it's a good book. And then I got one of his books from the library sometime, probably last year, September last year, maybe. And it was long. It was a big book, but it was pretty good. Like it was okay. And it did get into the, the conflict that we were just talking about. And I was a little unsettled by his takes because I knew he was Jewish, and the book is from like 2015, I want to say. So again, like a lot of us were very ignorant to what was going on up until a few years ago. So I had somewhat mixed feelings about that book. I can't even remember what it's called right now. Yo, what up, Dom? We're talking about books. I still have to read Dom's book. Forgot about that. I forget until I talk to you, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Dom sent me his book too. Gotta read it. Um, yeah, but I ultimately think that he. Why would you say that? Why? Did we not talk about Blurb? You can just self publish it and just have a physical copy and allow other people to buy physical copies? Like, why would you say it's not going anywhere? Why would you say that, Dom? Don't piss me off. I have to finish my own book though. So, true. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, you're right. Thanks. I was very offended, but that makes more sense in that context. Um, yeah, I'm trying to finish my library books. Oh, so this is so I have 30 pages, well, 50 pages left of this book if I read all the references. It's incredible. I mean, I would recommend everybody read this book for real. Um, it is literally like the saddest thing I have ever read in my life. Um, and that's saying something because I read some really sad books. Nice. Smoke up. Um, The Glass Castle was sad. I read that sometime last year, maybe it was this year. And The Bell Jar. How did I go my whole life without ever reading The Bell Jar? I read that, I think, last year. And it was so funny. It was like March, and we had a few nice days in March. Sometimes it's cold in March, it still snows or whatever, but it was a nice day. So I was kind of going from inside to outside reading. And I'd be inside and I'd warm up and I'd say, okay, I'm going to sit on the porch and read for a little bit. And I got to this one part of the Bell Jar and I just lost my fucking shit, dude. I was like, this is too fucking relatable. This is, oh my God, I just start bawling. My neighbor comes outside and she goes, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, it's just this book. And she's like, oh my God, I thought something was wrong. And I was like, no, it's just me. You know, super, super emotional. Really, really good. But this is sadder than any book because it's true. Because it's a true story. And The Glass Castle is a true story, but I feel like it's just really a frustrating read. This is like, I want to tell you guys about it, but I don't want to spoil it in case you want to read it because it is really good. Get a library card if you don't already have one and go check out the books that they have. So I'm gonna finish that. I want to finish it tonight. Like I should have been reading when I got home because I wanted to read at work and I was too busy. And I've just been thinking about it. I was up until 3 in the morning reading and researching about this fucking book. Not researching about the book, I'll tell you about the research. Um oh, it's so good. But okay, I'm gonna try to remember everything I'm gonna say. So I got this book, My Brother, My Land, in the Gnosis of Carl Jung, and Jesus and Buddha as Brothers, and on Palestine. And so I read Jesus and Buddha as Brothers really quick. I think I read it in 7 days, and it was a short book. It shouldn't have even taken me 7 days, but I was busy. And then I'm maybe 2 chapters into the Gnosis of Carl Jung, and I'm like, I don't like this as much as I thought I would. I think there's just, I don't know, there was a time in history, all time in history, really, but even in recent history, where stuffy old white men decided everything. And I was totally okay with that in my youth because what difference would I know? I come from a very white space. I know white men. Hell yeah, that's so real. Love the library for that reason. But to some extent, and with age and with knowledge and with the unconditioning of the mind, I read some of the content that is so highly regarded and worshipped. People who are so highly regarded and worshipped, where I'm like, I don't really care about this random, stuffy white dude's opinion. Like, I don't. We have gone in on Ram Dass. Y'all know how I feel about that, where I'm like, he popularized a culture that didn't belong to him. Which some cultures are okay with being celebrated in that way. I understand. But he just did some really, really bad things, you know? And he's had some really kooky, misogynistic ideas. And that was his teachings. And that's what people are fawning over. And I do feel like that was part of my awakening to not just blindly trust. Well, I've never cared about what's popular, but you know what I mean? Like, it really made me realize, like, okay, I don't have to do this. I don't have to be into this. I don't have to, you know, whatever. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. So I am undecided. I think once I finish this book, I am going to try to read the Carl Jung book. I'm trying to give it a chance because it sounds good, but I really don't care about the guy. Like, I just don't. I never knew anything about him. It's just the Seven Sermons of the Dead sounded really interesting to a medium. One of my, like, that was it, you know? I didn't even realize Carl Jung was a psychologist. I thought he was a scientist. And I'm like, oh, you must be thinking of Carl Sagan. Like, I don't care. So I don't know if I'm going to finish it. But I did talk about On Palestine. Yeah, literally. Like, it is. And so I'm like, okay, like, I know it will be good, but it is a slow start. So On Palestine was written by Noam Chomsky and Ilan Pepe and some guy. And I talked about this when I first started that book. I got like a few pages in, and it was, in my opinion, very pretentious. That's good to know. I mean, that's cool, and I'm into that, so I should not discredit his work before I read it. You are the reason I'm going to give it another chance, Dom. Thank you for that. On Palestine, though, I was like, who are these people? Because when you are talking about such an important topic and such a sensitive subject, and you are using convoluted language and run on sentences and words that nobody knows, you are being pretentious and you are purposely misguiding the direction of what you're saying. You can pretend all day that you have the stance that you have, but if you literally make it incomprehensible to the average person, you are not helping the cause, right? I was talking about this a few months ago when I started the book. And I looked up who these people are. One of them is a Jewish man from New York, and the other one is an Israeli who moved to the US. So I'm like, cool. Don't really care. Don't really care. I'm not saying that it's not important to have people who were once the opposition to have the views that they have and being against Zionism and being against Israel. I think it's very important to have people on that side of the fence saying this is wrong, this is bad. And I really commend like the young people who are refusing the draft and people who are, you know, in their Hasidic outfits showing up outside being like, this is wrong. You're not disgracing my religion. I think it's great. But for me, as someone who's trying to learn more about this topic and learn more about the history, to hear it from a French guy interviewing an Israeli and a Jew, doesn't feel important to me to know right now because of the way it was written. So I still have to return the book, but I have it and I have no intention of reading it. Mind you, they put a kafia on the cover, so that's how they get you in. And I feel like, again, it's misleading, it's misdirection, and the fact that it is written in such a complicated manner just enforces this idea that it is complicated. They're like purposely overcomplicating it to make themselves sound, and even though they have the same stance that I do, it's the delivery was weird. So a couple weeks ago, again, this was months ago, I had this conversation on here. I decided this about this book. A couple weeks ago, when people were talking about Epstein, right? I saw someone on Thread say Noam Chomsky is on the list. And I was like, good thing I didn't read that fucking book. Guess I had a feeling. Guess I fucking knew what I was talking about. Like, just saying. So now I'm definitely not reading it. And I don't feel bad. Heard that, right? So I guess my intuition is okay at some things, because I fucking did not have a good feeling about that book. And I was like, this is not it. This is not it. So, lo and behold, good thing I didn't read it. Better thing I didn't buy it. So, yeah. Yeah. And then I'm trying to get off of library books. I got so many fucking books to read. I have so many books to read. I have like 30 on a shelf in my room because I had like a pile of stuff. And then I got this shelf from my grandpa because he passed away. And I was like, if I could have anything in my grandpa's, it would be that. It's like a shelf that you like stick to the ceiling and the floor, and it just stands, and it's metal, and it's so cool. It's adjustable this way and adjustable this way. You don't have to, you just put the little things together, and that's it. It's already built. So I'm like, yo, I really want that. It would help me out a lot. So I'm going through this pile of stuff so I can put it on my shelf. So exciting. I sent everybody pictures of it. It was like so exciting. And I get to the bottom box of this literal stack of stuff. And I'm like, what is in here? This is so heavy. Guess what was in there, y'all? Guess. Oh, take a guess what was in there. Sorry, I know there's a delay in the chat. Nobody guessed. Oh, Dom, I'm not even done. Okay, so I uncovered a box full of books that I forgot about. And I know I got them. I know where I got them from the library that I used to go to. Yeah, it was books. I there was a used bookstore in the library, and this one, I'm not gonna lie, it was a rich city, and I was very much living basically in poverty, and they had the honor system. Okay, they had a box. They said 25 cents for soft covers, 50 cents for hard covers. Big books marked, priced as marked. Whatever. So I would pick out a bunch of books and I'd put some money in the box. I really don't have a lot of shame in that. You got them for free. You're a very well funded library. You don't need this money. You don't have anybody monitoring the money, so obviously you don't expect people, like you clearly don't care. You don't care. You're not paying attention to your inventory. You're not paying attention to your sales. Like, here's a couple bucks. I'm gonna take as many books as I fucking want. Maybe I shouldn't admit that. Maybe I'm a criminal. I don't know. Maybe I'm a criminal. Okay? I don't know. But I acquired a lot of books during that time. So I uncovered a bunch of books that I got from that library that I never even read. Cool. Great. Lovely. Took all these books for what? just to not read them. In that time since then, I've gone to 3 other libraries in my area, bought more books, stop at the free book case, those little things, free libraries, taken from there. My grandma's house, books that nobody knew were even there. So I have like 30 books in my room, but I have about 20 more in my back seat, and then maybe like 40 more in my trunk. Guess how many I've read? Not a single one. Not a single one. There's one. There's one, literally one, that I got from that first library, Grass Soup. I actually read that whole book. I did read that whole book. And it was a while ago. I read it a couple of years ago. That's it. I've been checking books out from the library. I didn't really read before that. Everything, Dom. Literally everything. I have literary classics like Dracula and the Odyssey. I have photograph books. I have Exploring the Cosmos or whatever it's called. I think it's just called Cosmos, Carl Sagan. These big fucking books. I got an Oscar Wilde memoir or biography or whatever in there. I have novels that I've never heard of that I have no idea what they're about because I go to book sales. I went to a book sale, right, at one of my local libraries, and it was $3 for a grocery bag of books. You get to fill the bag. They give you a grocery bag, and they let you fill it. Or 2 for $5. So I said, fuck it, let's do 2 for $5. Let's do 2 for $5. Okay, my bags were ripping. I put so many books in them. I got The Alchemist by, what's his name? Pablo something. I have so many motherfucking books. I have The Body Keeps Score because, oh yeah, my therapist's office has a free book rack. And I take books from there. And I, go to the used bookstore in town. Oh, it's $1. I'll buy it. I have 2 copies of Stephen Colbert's I Am America and So Can You because I forgot that I bought it. And now I have 2 copies of it. And I have the second one. And I have Jon Stewart's book, Earth. I have so many fucking books, bro. I have so many books. So many books. It's crazy. Then I went to a new bookstore. Rare, but I wanted to go. We were just shopping. We went, and there was a Grateful Dead book on sale. And I fucking bought it for $9. I have a fucking problem. A problem. And my justification is, well, it's cheap, it's free, it's only $1, it's $5. But I'm not reading the books. I got this from the library. And I've bought at least 3 books since then. More than 3. 3 is a fucking severe understatement. But oh my god, I love my book collection. I love looking at them. I love having them. I love that I am the library. It's just madness. Absolute madness. And then you know what I do? I think I would really like to reread that book I read in high school. Yeah, I would love to read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series and read them all. I would love to reread those Nick Cave books I was just talking about. I would love to reread No Country for Old Men. So I remember really liking that book. No, girl. Read the books you've never read. Read the books you have. I should count them. I'm going to get you guys a count of my books. Count the books. You'll be amazed how many books I have. I started Dracula, got 75 pages in and was like, fuck this shit. Oh, I would love that. And that's another thing. I've been collecting CDs. I have probably 30 CDs in my car because I have a CD player in there. And it's fun because whenever there's someone in my car, I let people pick a CD to put in. And a lot of them they've never heard of. I have like jazz and classical and orchestra and like, yeah, that'd be so fun. We should make that our dream. We should definitely make that our dream. Um, just like tons of CDs, but I actually like do a decent. I haven't listened to them all, but I do a decent job like flipping through them. And like I said, I let other people choose what they want to listen to when they're in my car, and I'll leave it in for a while. And yeah, and Diamond Princess by Trina is one of my favorite times CDs. Um, so good, so good. Trina is just out of this world talented. And my other one is Vaseline, Sand in the Vaseline, Talking Heads Greatest Hits 2 disc CD. Incredible, so fucking good. I love Talking Heads. But everything else, I'm like, yeah, I gotta listen to that Carly Simon CD I have, and I gotta get to know some of this classical music that I got going on. Um, yeah, all kinds of stuff. I bought a Kate Bush CD, and it's Donkey. It is Rubber Band Girl and Rubber Band Girl Edit. And I've played that CD more than any other CD. And it is the same track twice, over and over and over again. And I will have a 30-minute drive. And I will sing the whole time, jamming, fucking, I wanna be a rubber band girl. The whole time. To the point where people will get in my car and I'm like, I'm sorry, it's Rubber Band Girl. We can change it if you want. And they don't change it. And eventually I'm like, dude, I'm not going to make you listen to this again. I'm sorry. We'll put something else on. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, I have a problem. I have a problem. For sure. Some girls are really into shoes. Like Celine Dion has like 2,000 pairs of shoes. I got 1 pair of boots, 2 pairs of sandals, 3 pairs of tennis shoes that were given to me. Pair of heels I'll never wear again. Pair of dressy platforms that I've worn once. That's about it. That's about it. I have maybe 10 pairs of shoes. And it's whatever. I wear the same boots every day, wear the same sandals every day, you know? Not a shoe girly. I have purses that again, like I don't know if I've ever bought a purse in recent history. A lot of girls love their purses. I get them as gifts. I got a lot from my grandma. Um, I bought a tote bag a couple of years ago. And I bought a backpack a couple of years before that, like a mini backpack. But I do not remember the last time I bought a purse. So my thing is not shoes and purses like a lot of women. I own 1 belt. I am a sucker for jewelry though. Seriously, I have so much good stuff. I cannot wait. I got a bunch of stuff to go through with my sisters, and I cannot wait. And if I have something good, I'll think of you. I'll give it to you. Maybe a piece of jewelry or article of clothing. I don't know if you wear anything first, but yeah. And I don't even think I buy like a lot of clothes. Like I'm really bad about like going to the thrift store and buying stuff. But I just don't go to the thrift store to buy stuff. That makes sense. It'll be like one of the girlies will be like, "Hey, you want to go to the thrift store?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's go." And also, I am so much bigger than I used to be that I have had to buy new clothes, you know? So it is what it is. Yes, baby. He's sweeping, sweeping. He's sweeping, sweeping. So precious. So cute, so precious. I can't believe how late it is already. So, I have to roll the ads soon. 2 minutes. Not bad. Um, okay, go to bed. I'm so sorry you stayed up this late. That's why I'm like, wow, I'm actually surprised at how late it was. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting with us. Always a good conversation. I hope you get enough sleep, and I know you probably won't. So good luck in the morning. Make sure you make time for coffee. That's what I'm saying. I know I started late, but goddamn. Um, yeah, I feel like we were having some really good discussions. So, um, I guess I'll roll the ads, and you can fall asleep, do what you gotta do. Um, really quick, okay. I'm talking about a lot of different things. I feel like this happens a lot when I'm streaming, but I was telling y'all, like, I got really depressed and was very traumatized. And I finished this book that I had started before. BB and AB, right? So I started this book BB and I finished it AB. And I am not exaggerating when I tell you I did not read a book for 10 years after that. I was so deep in the trauma that it was almost like I associated reading with the escapism that it was. I got really into writing. I threw myself into projects and would always be busy and just did not sit with it, did not sit with myself. I thought like it was such a good book, I'll never read a book that good ever again. Like I legitimately finished that book in 2012 and then I read, I can't remember what it's called. It's like Little Things or something by Jenny Slate, which I feel like she's grown on me. I didn't love her book, but she's grown on me a little bit because she's actually pretty fucking funny. Being annoying doesn't mean you're not funny, right? It almost means you're more funny, but she's pretty hilarious at the end of the day, and I've grown to appreciate her more. But I read that book in 2021 or 2022. It was a big fucking deal for me where I was like, wow, that's the first book I read since 2012. So it was literally almost like 10 years. And I would start books, but not finish them, you know? So that was a very big deal. I also have more books in storage and in other places, in other people's houses. So this is just the books I have on me. It's not even all my books. Crazy. I have at least 100 books. Um, but anyway, now I have to roll the ads, so we'll be back in 3 minutes. And we're back, folks. We are back. Um, I think I'll try to stretch this to 2 hours and then I gotta go. I shouldn't have started so late, but I was not sure what I was doing. And I ended up not doing anything. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stream. So, yeah. Super fun, riveting stuff. Um, what's up? So, I am really trying to have better habits and I'm trying to reconnect with myself and I'm trying to feel like myself again because I haven't for a long time. And we've talked about this, I would even say extensively, where we've discussed like different mental health reasons that we and spiritual reasons where we feel disconnected. So I'm trying to do things that make me feel connected to myself. And I have a Finch list. I got Finch to keep me going every day, keep me on track in a sense. And um, oh, this puppy's so cute. This puppy's so cute. I love him. Love him. Love him. So I'm trying to do these things where I have 15 minutes where I'm staring at the fucking ceiling doing nothing. I will allow myself to listen to music or listen to a tarot reading or something, but I'm trying to have 15 minutes of like no stimulation. Well, I guess the music would be stimulation, but visual stimulation. Staring at the goddamn ceiling for 15 minutes to detox from my phone each night. I'm trying to do that. I've only done it a few times, but I really, really am trying to. I should actually put that on my Finch list because it's not on my Finch list. And I'll just put 15 minutes of ceiling time. That'll do it. Um, we'll call it connection, and we'll do it every day. Save. Perfect. Um, yeah. So trying to have that literally like a visual detox every night. I'd love to extend the time over time, but trying to get the 15 minutes in for now. Trying to have a cup of tea every night just because I have so much tea I need to get through. Um, read. If I don't find time during the day to read, then I'm trying to read before bed. Um, I've been trying to keep up on my affirmations where I just pick a phrase and I write it on every line of this notebook. It's such a cool notebook, right? And I bought it and I was like, girl, you do not need another notebook. And I said, well, you know what? Let me give it a purpose. And so I write my affirmations and my gratitude lists. And so every line is the same phrase. I think it's like 24, 25 lines. I know it's sweet, right? I have a dress like that. So it's like 24, 25 lines. Because one of my math teachers in high school said that if you do something 24 times, it gets committed to memory. So I figured if I'm saying something 24 times, at least 24 times, I think 23 times, I'm committing it to memory. So if I am committing it to memory, I'm going to believe it. It's going to be in there. It's going to be a part of who I am, right? That's my theory. So that's why I do it so many times. I just pick 5 things I'm grateful for, and sometimes I send them to my friends instead of writing them down. It just depends. If I'm like, fuck, where's my notebook? I'll just text my friend, one of my friends. It's different people I share it with sometimes. I'll text my gratitude list, and I just recently started journaling again, where I'm writing down just thoughts, feelings, whatever's on my mind. And I started doing that. Like, I don't think we talked about this. I think that I started this like since I last streamed a week ago. Like, I think I just started this week. So I kept a diary from the time could write. Literally since I could write, I had a diary. And after that, I had song journals. I'd write songs in my little journals. I always had a notebook by my bed. I was writing a novel when I was in like second, third grade. And I kept it in a shoebox under my bed. And one day I couldn't find it, and I think it got confiscated by one of my parents. And we never talked about it because it was like a murder mystery novel I was writing. So, okay. So like I've always been a writer, but um I've always wrote down how I feel, like what's going on with me and all this other stuff. And in high school, I had like this big sketchbook, blank pages, it wasn't lined, it wasn't, and I used it as like a journal. And there were sketches in it. I'm sure I still have it somewhere. There were sketches, but it was really like free writing, like being able to scribble. Yeah, I think it's maybe a high school thing, like a teenager thing. I don't know. Some of it was poetry, some of it was feelings, some of it was, the day I had, some of it was things people said to me, just different purposes. And I also had a composition notebook that I just wrote like a daily log, right? But that sketchbook was my everything. The fucking whole cover came off. Pretty sure I bought it at Borders, okay? Which, if you didn't know, was a book and media store that does not exist anymore. So I probably got it when it was on sale and they were closing or whatever. Exactly. So even a few years ago, when I was streaming, I would take notes of like what I wanted to talk about on stream, or what I wanted to do that day, or notes from like what other people say, things to look into. Like, I have always kept a journal, and I have a stash of journals by my bed. And I have some that are half filled that I didn't finish filling, and I have some that are blank because I am a sucker for a cute journal where I'll still buy them for no reason because I don't use them anymore. I have not really journaled in a couple of years. And part of the reason I stopped, and this sounds really stupid, and I told this to my best friend, part of the reason I stopped is because someone, on the internet was like, "Oh, you shouldn't write down how you feel because then when you put it in writing, you're making it official and it's set in stone and you're making it your reality. So you should only write what you want and what you desire and blah 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 blah." And so I was like, okay, let me try that because I was in a bad place. So I was like, okay, maybe I should stop writing down how I feel because then I'm just perpetuating that mood. And then my best friend said, the internet is a joke. So true, bestie. So true, bestie. Because what they are discounting from that experience of writing these things down, expressing yourself, is that I was processing my emotions. It was art therapy, writing therapy. Like, I was able to work through stuff, get it out of my head. I didn't have to bitch to my friends all the time. I didn't have to constantly be talking to someone. I could keep it to myself while also getting it out. And a lot of times, once I would write it down, I wouldn't read it again. It's not like I was dwelling on it, you know? Um, and so after experimenting with not doing it, I got way more disconnected. I started using my phone more. I started um, not being able to sit with myself, not processing feelings, avoiding feelings, using escapism. I really did not find any benefits to not doing that, but when I think back, I can think of many benefits to doing it. And so this week, I literally was like, fuck that. I am going to start journaling again and see if it helps. See if it helps me process my ish. See if it helps me accomplish what I need to accomplish. See if I can do it. See if I can become okay again. See if I can stop relying on other people to talk to me about things. See if I can process my own emotions like I once did. So I started journaling again. So that's kind of my nighttime routine. Sometimes I try to do a face mask like once a week because I really feel like you probably don't need to do a face mask more than once a week. And I think I did one earlier this week, but if it wasn't so late, I would probably do one tonight, but I just shouldn't. Um, I really don't have much going on tomorrow. I have to wake up and let the dog out, but I think that's about it. Yeah, I definitely like wash my face in the shower and I moisturize when I get out of the shower. And then at night, I um, wash my face because I wear makeup and then I moisturize after I wash my face. So I'm relatively into skincare as well. And that's why I'm like trying to remember to do a face mask once a week because it feels good and it's fun, you know. I don't know how much it helps my skin, but I like it. So, yeah, that's that's what I'm trying to do. That's what's going on in Illy's world. Um, like I said, I'm trying to make this stream just a straight 2 hours, but we have 13 more minutes. Oh, true, yeah. I don't think that charcoal face masks are that good for you. Charcoal is like really rough on the skin. So in a way it's detoxing, but also I wouldn't do it too much. Unless you have like super oily skin. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah. Me and my boo. Hi pie. Hi pie. So I hope I get to my nighttime routine. Um I didn't end up drinking today, which I like. Because I drank yesterday and I drank the day before and I drank the day before that because I was with family and that's how we are. Um, so I'm glad I didn't end up doing anything tonight or seeing my friends are going out because I would have drank and I didn't need to. You know, I just straight up didn't need to. Um, so hopefully I reward myself with some tea and I, hopefully I finish this book. It's late and I know I shouldn't stay up and read 30 pages of a book that is guaranteed to make me cry, but I want to. And I want to do my affirmations and I want to do my journal. So cute. My parents bought me and my sister, they weren't matching journals, they're the same style of journals with different patterns. Bought me this journal for our California vacation that we took when I was in 4th grade. Isn't that adorable? Like, genuinely, and I still have it. And it's not full. And I wrote one page, in the journal about the plane ride to California. And then I never used it again until basically high school. And I am very upset with how embarrassed I was in high school because I ripped out the page that I wrote when I was 10. And I would give anything to have that. You know what I mean? But like I said, I've always had a journal. So it may have been more than one page. It looks like more than one page. But yeah. And I started writing a book. I think this was right after high school. I started using this journal again. Philosophy, basically. And then at one point I started typing it out. And then, yeah. And there's an entry from November 4th, 2021. Oh, that's my friend's birthday. Some psych type writing in here for sure. 2019 probably. Such confidence. Very sad. Very sad. Wow, this is very sad. But I am here. So this is what I've written. This is the written side. This is the blank side. So I'm getting to the halfway point of filling this journal. And that was part of the reason I was inspired to start writing a journal. Yeah, you can see, like, I'm not even halfway. So that was part of the reason I wanted to start, like, writing in a journal again, is because I was like, yo, what am I doing with all these fucking journals? Like, literally, like, I just have so many that are never finished. And, you know, like I said, I write in them and I hardly even read it after I write in it. So I went back to my 4th grade journal and decided, yep, that's the one. It's like plushy too. It's like kind of soft. It's like a hardcover, but it's got a softness to it, and the cover is coated in like a fabric. And honestly, it is a little dirty in some spots, but it could definitely. I'm wondering if that's even mold. I don't know. I wonder if I could clean it. I don't know if I'd risk cleaning it. I don't want to ruin it. But I love this thing. I think this back cover is way prettier than the front cover, but I love it all the same. I absolutely love it. So I'm trying to fill that up just with my thoughts and feelings in a day. So it's cool. And I think even if we stream for 5 more minutes, I can probably be in bed by 2:30. Right? Can't believe I ate a whole pack of blueberries, dog. That is so crazy. Absolutely crazy. You should find it. Great self-reflection. Truly. Truly. Also, 2 years ago, I had a shaved head. 2 years ago, I had a shaved head. Like, I'm back to where I started. Like, my hair is longer than it was before I shaved my head, actually, because I had the Nico, where it was just like all one length right here ish. It does. I never thought that it did, but it truly does. Like, that's crazy. This is 2 years. And my neighbor cuts hair. So she's been consistently giving me my trim every 6 months, sometimes less. Like, I asked her to trim my tinsel because I have tinsel in my hair, fairy hair. You can't really see it. Yeah, no, seriously. And I know I wasn't trimming every day, but it was like that. Um, I asked her to trim my tinsel in my hair because it looked crazy. And she was like, "Oh, let me just trim it." And I was like, "Yeah, will you give me bangs?" And now my hair looks like it did 3 years ago. And 2 years ago it was shorter than this. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Gotta love it. Love having a shaved head though. I always say like I won't shave my head again because I hate the grow out process. But the fact that I can grow out my hair in 2 years, I would maybe do it again. Absolutely. Absolutely. We had to do the holy man haircut. We had to do it. It's just it was in the cards. It was fate. We had to do it. Yeah. Yeah. And I love it. I love being able to do stuff with my hair. I love being able to wear hats and not look like I'm hiding something. No offense to the people who are, but yeah. I don't wear my clips enough, I would say, but it's so fun to have scrunchies, put my hair up at night. Like, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I had a lot of cute phases. Like, shaved head looks really good. And then, like, the 70s shag, when it was still like here, also looked really good. There was just a few phases in between those two phases that I was like, I look old. I look like an old lady. Like at this hair to here. It was so bad. It's also funny that I had such a curl to my hair as it grew out. Grandma as fuck. Grandma as fuck. Um, I have like no curl. It like gets to a point where it just stops. Yeah, I had like a nice curl to it, but it, I have straight hair. It grows out and it's straight. So, yeah, maybe you're lucky, you know? I can't even curl my hair, it doesn't stay. Nothing stays. Can't use product in it because it's too heavy. It like makes my hair greasy. Me touching it right now is probably making it really greasy too. But yeah, I'm just really like impressed with how fast my hair has grown. Crazy, actually. Crazy. So yeah. Well, we pretty much made it. Made it to 2 hours. It was fun and I'm really happy my friends were here. Really appreciate you all. Um Thank you for chatting with me. Thank you for having these discussions with me. Thank you for keeping up with me. Thank you for supporting me. Um, Dude, you the only one talking to me right now. And when you weren't talking as much, someone else was talking to me. So I've had a consistent chatter this whole stream. And I really appreciate that because sometimes I'm just talking to myself and whoever's watching. And it's like guess you don't have to say anything, but golly, it'd be nice if you did. But no, it's been really, really pleasant, and I really hope that the song goes well. I hope you get it done. Um, Quit stressing. Just let it be what it needs to be, even if that means it needs to be imperfect. Um, Hopefully, I will get back into music myself, but I don't know. I'm not that good at it, so I don't care. But we talked about maybe collabing on something. We'd have to figure it out. You gotta call me sometime. Um, I feel like my schedule is fairly open during the week and late nights and stuff. And we can discuss some Discord and some music and shit like that. And it's funny, I remember the other day, I'm looking right now, I texted you and said something I'd like to further discuss next stream, but we didn't really. That's so funny. I was literally looking down, so that's hilarious. Um, Thank you. I love you, baby. No. Wow. Okay. Really reading each other's minds here. That's hilarious. Unless you were building on what I had said. No, I've really only messaged people on Discord. I haven't really like done anything to edit or anything like that. I need to get back on it. But yeah, maybe we'll set up a phone call. Oh, okay, that's fine. Um, Try to figure it out. Might go on there. I don't, like I said, I don't really have much going on tomorrow, so maybe I can set out to work on that. I would love to fix this too. It just doesn't look that good, and I don't know why my chat box looks like that. I don't like it. Um, this is stupid. I hardly ever do tarot on here anymore. I like this, right? Because I've always been really into like stream of consciousness writing, and this is a live stream, so I thought that this was kind of a clever thing for me personally because that's always been my thing. But I would like to upgrade my OBS. I need to do it. And I looked back at some of my old streams. I was looking at clips actually, and some of those clips taken out of context, I totally look like a crazy person. But what are you gonna do? Um, okay, yeah, or tomorrow night even. I don't think I have any plans. This is like the first weekend I have no plans. It's because I was busy all fucking week long that I just don't even care. I might see my friends tomorrow, but she didn't really say if she wanted to know what I was doing during. She just kept saying, "What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "What are you doing right now?" But um, AM? No, we're not doing that. I'm not gonna call you as soon as I wake up. Yeah, we're up late tonight. I'm about to go read 30 pages of a book and write in my journal. I'm not going to bed. Just because I'm getting off stream doesn't mean I'm going to bed. Hell no. Don't call me at 11 or 12. Unless you mean PM. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can probably make that happen. Okay, mister. Are you ready for bed? Are you ready for bed? You gonna sleep with me? I hope you do. You want to sleep with me? Yeah. Want to sleep with me? What a good boy. Love this dog. Yeah. That's hilarious. I was waking up super early every day for years, and lately I can't wake up anymore. Can't do it. I'm like sucked in. I know he's so cute. He's so cute. We only have him till tomorrow. We only got him today and tomorrow. I'm gonna miss him because I love him so much. I'm gonna miss him because I love him so much. Love my baby turtle. Love my baby turtle. Ew. Don't love that. You wanna go to bed? You wanna go to bed? Okay. I I know, right? I should. No, I'm not gonna do that because then I'll be like, damn, I gotta take care of my dog. No. All right, I'm gonna take this sucker to bed. I'm the sucker, by the way. Sucker for this babe. I don't know when I'll be streaming again. I'll try to get to it sometime this week. I'll catch you. We'll keep in touch tomorrow. I'll let you know. Like I said, I'm supposed to see my friends tomorrow, but I don't know if they wanted to hang out during the day or if they wanted to get together tomorrow night. So we'll be in touch. All right. Good luck with your song. Thank you, lurkers, for lurking. I appreciate you all. And I love you. And I'll talk to you soon. Good night, good luck, and all that stuff.